When a family member or loved one is diagnosed with an autism spectrum disorder, the family begins an unexpected journey. Filtering through the information and options can seem overwhelming. This presentation is designed to assist families in Alabama as they begin this journey. It is our sincere desire that by taking these first steps, you will find help and hope for your family and your loved one. Once a diagnosis is obtained, it is important to identify appropriate services and resources. The options you pursue will differ depending on the individual's age, strengths and challenges, and future goals. Accessing services will differ among communities. Depending on your community's local resources, there's a variety of ways to create learning opportunities for your loved one. It is important to gather information about autism and to focus on the most current knowledge and research available. You are encouraged to use a variety of sources to collect the information that you need. Read, watch videos, attend conferences and educational events, check out helpful websites, get on mailing lists, and talk to other parents. As you search for answers, you will find varying philosophies and different opinions about effective treatments, medical interventions, therapies, and educational programs. Remember that each individual with autism is unique. An approach that has been effective for one individual may not produce the same results for your son or daughter. The National Autism Center reviewed various treatments in the National Standards Project and reported the effectiveness of various treatments. This may be a useful resource for you as you and your treatment team determine an intervention plan that is best for your child. Alabama's Autism Council is a permanent body formed by the state legislature in 2008. The council is charged with developing a coordinated system of care among major state agencies. Meetings are open to the public, and meeting times and dates are posted on the council's website. The Autism Society can also be a great resource for you. Local parent networking groups can connect you with other parents that have experienced similar issues. These groups can be your best resource for locating physicians, therapists, and other professionals in your area who can assist you in your efforts. Early intervention serves children ages 0 to 3 with developmental delays. Studies in early childhood development have shown that the youngest brains are the most flexible. In autism, we see that intensive early intervention may yield a tremendous amount of progress in children by the time they enter kindergarten, reducing the need for intensive supports. As a child gets older, their needs change. When an individual is preparing to graduate from high school, there are services that can help them with that transition and plan for the future. Vocational rehabilitation provides educational services, vocational assessments, job training, assistive technology, and job placement. Another resource to consider is respite. Respite provides options for supervision of your loved one on a limited basis, so you and other family members have some time for other activities. The Alabama Lifespan Respite Resource Network can help you identify respite resources in your area. Current best practices and research are readily available through resources such as the CDC and the American Academy of Pediatrics. Autism Speaks also has beneficial information about autism and other parent resources. There are many other kinds of resources that are available. Some other examples would be the Autism Society of America and Easter Seals. They have practical information available on their websites. Although the journey will be different for everyone, we have compiled some basic tips as a guide. You will hear advice from parents and networking group leaders from around the state who have already started their journey. Maybe their situation will sound similar to yours. Identify the top concerns and needs for your family and for your loved one. Start with those issues first and consider letting other things wait. Once you've established your priorities, set a plan and get help.
So the first year of diagnosis is very difficult. You don't know where to turn. You're trying to fix everything. You look at your finances and you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do all these things because I'm limited. You can't get married, start a diet, a new job, and move into a new house all at the same time. There's only so much that you can handle. And there's only so much you can handle as a parent, and there's only so much your child can handle. So with a new diagnosis or going to an IEP, maybe what you should really sit down with your family and decide, what are 3 to 5 things that are the most important things for your child to work on. And then if you could provide that to the school system before they start to create an IEP, because your voice should be heard, then the goals should reflect those 3 to 5 things. And it really then helps you know what you're working for. It helps the school know. It prioritizes things for your child so you can see the accomplishments. You know what to read about. You know what to connect to. And I think that's a really big, important thing.
Intensive and ongoing interventions can have a positive long-term impact on your loved one. In addition to pursuing structured programming and educational opportunities, realize that your loved one is always learning. Be prepared to continually teach, coach, and guide them in different kinds of social situations.
One of the things that's made the biggest difference in my son's life is the implementation of social skill training. At his school, we use the paraprofessional in the exploratory class. We use Model Me Kids. It's a program that visual, social skills, workbooks, and checklists. So he's actually taking his social skills and learning it like you would any subject, English or whatever. And I think we found that it was not only something that he needed, but it was something he desired, but he never knew how to ask for. And for my son, that's made the largest difference.
You never know which records you will need in the future. You will serve as your loved one's case manager and lifelong advocate. Keeping copies of everything and staying organized will help.
I got my calendar, and I would make sure I wrote down all of the appointments that she had and all of the doctors and names. But you do have to set those priorities in place as far as the needs of your child. I would encourage them to find out as much information as they can about the disability, and also to try to do a parent-to-parent connect with another parent that has a child similar to what your child has. Just keep yourself educated, because as your child get older, you're really going to have to educate yourself as far as the school system go, because these are things that you're going to have to know in order to help your child and to get services for your child.
Exercise, rest, laugh, and take time to do other things with friends. Practice staying calm and finding humor in each day.
Another thing that took me many, many, many years, and I still haven't accomplished it, is I went to a workshop one time and I thought I was going for my child. And the leader of the workshop said to us, close your eyes. It's 20 years from now. You're looking in the mirror. What do you see? Are you happy? What made you happy? Are you disappointed? Why are you disappointed? And it was very much at the first time that someone said to me as a parent that I needed to take care of myself and not forget my goals and forget my happiness. Because if I'm not happy or I'm not taking care of me, then I'm not really reflecting what my child needs to see. And it's very difficult, I have sisters that are constantly calling me and saying, stop working, stop, stop doing all these things. When are you going on vacation? You need support to do that because you feel guilty as a parent. And I'm a single parent. So you feel really guilty to take that time to do something for yourself. But when you do, you see, wow, I'm so much better after I've taken that break. So it's okay. Don't feel bad that you're doing something for yourself, because you in turn will be a better parent.
Learning happens through positive reinforcement. Minimize negative comments. Offer guidance that will help your child become successful as an adult.
Ethan was just obsessed with trains, and we were trying to find anything and everything that he would love that we could, besides trains, and we found that it was roller coasters. And I remember, I mean, we got we went to Disney World and we got a season pass. Anything that we could push for his intellectual growth, and that maybe he'll be he'll be an engineer and build roller coasters.
You will need to work closely with professionals to resolve difficult issues. Focus your efforts on attacking problems together and not each other. A good working relationship is a productive one where your child is the winner.
So when you first go through the whole autism thing when your babies are little, a lot of parents get that, you see this child regress, you're running through talking to all these professionals, and maybe, especially with me, I was like, there's something wrong, and I was getting, everything's okay, the speech, it's just speech, and I remember getting this, like, lion's mother, wanting to protect her cub, just trying to fight, and you're filled with that for a while. I think I had that kind of mentality at first where I was like in attack mode, like, this is what I want, and I realized that you catch, more flies with honey, and you've got to form a positive relationship with these professionals. And so I found when Ethan started going to school that I had to have that, thank you so much for working with my son. And in order to form that relationship, because you have this idea that they don't know him. Oh my goodness, he can do so much, and they don't know that, and you start panicking. And so I'd write him a letter about his regression, about this precious little boy, and try to make it personal, to where before he ever came in, I would say, well, this is what happened to us. And I think that really helped. And I just started realizing the service providers were not my enemies. I didn't have to fight them. I had to make them my friends, and thank them, and make sure that I went out of my way to write them a letter and saying, y'all are doing a great job. And the whole, atmosphere changed.
Reward your loved one and yourself for accomplishments, whether small or large. Small steps may be major accomplishments. Acknowledge them and celebrate.
One of the most important things for me when my son was first diagnosed and learning was getting connected with other people in the community, around the nation, getting on the computer, researching, reading, making phone calls, finding parents that would talk with me to learn how to help my child, where do I go from here. But also one of the biggest learning curves for me with my son was I had a child that didn't know how to play with me, and I didn't know how to play with him. And you hear a lot about ABA and a lot of really great learning tools to teach skills. One of the things I wish I had learned early on more so was to really focus on some of those therapies that teach you how to play with your child and how to connect with your child. Because when you're not doing therapy and when you're not feeding, changing, doing all the basic life necessities, you want to just be able to hang out with your child. And to me, learning how to do that first and foremost and getting that connection makes all of the rest of the learning a lot easier.
Find something fun to do with your child. Work with your school and treatment team to develop skills to help facilitate those activities.
For us, it seems like the most simple frisbee is like a hoot. Going to a water park, that can be disastrous because it's too much. So I think it's just really kind of slowing it down and being able to realize when everybody's having a good time, like in the backyard. We don't have to drive an hour to get somewhere and then, pay bukus of money and then have a meltdown. We can just kind of go out and have some lemonade and, do something really kind of mundane, but it's really laid back and cool for our family. That's great.
In our area, we're very blessed to have many resources, most importantly, a lot of therapy outlets for our kids. We have therapeutic horseback riding, which is at the Easy Horseback Riding Program in Jasper. Through the natatorium, that's the pool's indoor swimming pool, we have special needs swim team. We also have Dream Team, which is really just getting off the ground. We're working on building the field. So if any of these things are interesting to you, we hope that you'll come and join us.
Don't try to do it alone. You don't have to. Ask for and accept help from others.
I would say to newly diagnosed kids that to get out there and find someone, because we are in a small community and I didn't think there was one person out there, and there was someone 2 blocks away that had a son that was 5 that our kids are in the same class now, and there's people out there. You've just got to get out there and ask questions. My son couldn't play football, he couldn't play baseball, but I think I got on Facebook one day and wrote something on somebody's wall about skateboarding. Somebody actually got in touch with me, and Riley's been skateboarding through the A-Skate Foundation. There are things, recreational activities out there for your children to do. You just got to find it and go with it. Don't give up. Just keep going. There are things in there. We've drove to Birmingham for so many years for him. I thought, man, there's not one person in Blount County that has a child with autism, and now we have 3 group leaders at the conference, and it's wonderful. So just don't give up.
I guess that's the main reason I wanted to start this group, is so I could help other parents, and maybe they can hand some of our information to that parent when they hand them the autism diagnosis. And I guess I don't want any other mother or father or grandparent to walk out of a doctor's office and say, oh God, what do I do next? Or I'm the only person that has to deal with my child laying in the floor of the store having this terrible fit. I want people to know, hey, this mom over here has to deal with it too, I felt so alone, and I don't want anybody else to feel that alone.
A dear friend of mine who had just had her grandson recently diagnosed with Asperger's told me that the psychiatrist had told her that kids with Asperger's are emotionally only 2/3 of their physical age. I did not know that. Joey is 17 physically. He's emotionally about 12, 13. But he is going to be 18, 19, 20, and that 2/3 mark is going up. And he will reach adult maturity emotionally. And there is hope, and I'd like to give that hope to other people. The events and the traumas that you go through and the crises that you go through are horrible. There's been some things that Joey has done that I can't even talk about because they're embarrassing. But I've made it through. And you do get through, but you're not asked to go through it alone, and that's why having a support group, having the Autism Society is really beneficial. Really, really good to know that you're not in this alone.
There are wonderful people in the autism community. Reach out and get to know some of them.
Hi, my name is Pam Black. I am with the Coast Group, the Walker County Area Support Group of the Autism Society of Alabama. We have lots of exciting things going on. We have monthly support group meetings, which we provide respite at. We have a child ID program. We have information that you can complete to be returned to your local 911 agency. That way your child is red flagged in the system. We also have a special moms group that we're really proud of. We meet once a month. We plan things like a painting class. We're going to have a shopping class before the holidays just to give folks an option to get out and have a little fun. We also are working on a special dads group.
When we first got our diagnosis, it was extremely overwhelming. So much information, not knowing which way to go. And I just wanted to encourage parents that do get the diagnosis to get involved in a support group in your community or a networking group in your community. It is incredibly beneficial. You contact other parents that are dealing with the same issues that you're dealing with. Honestly, I learn more from other parents on what works and doesn't work for my child than I do anywhere else. And the support that the people in the group can give you, the information that they can give you, you need it. A couple other things I can recommend is respite care is extremely important. There's a lot of churches out there in the community and programs where you can have a night out with your husband and get away from everything just for a few hours a month. It will make an incredible difference.
When we became a part of his world, he wanted to become a part of ours. And that's what makes them unique. That's what makes all individuals with disabilities different and unique, and we all have challenges. And we just have to remember, we all have our differences, and we have to learn to accept and respect each other. And that's what makes them so special and what makes us all special.